Missing someone without you.
Good morning guys, how are you doing? If you're new here, karibu sana. I go by the name Vivian Odhiambo, aka Fashion Guru Kenya, aka mtoto wa Homa Bay County. So today we are baking no oven cookies. So if you have no equipment, don't worry. Going back in the day, we're going to do it the way our ancestors used to do it, the way our grandmothers, the way our mothers used to do it. The question is, if we didn't have all this equipment, how would we be baking? So we are doing that. We're going to use our mwikos as our mixers. We're going to use bottle tops as cookie cutters. We're just doing it the traditional way, the way our mothers, our grandmothers would do it. The point of all this is to minimize the amount of money you're going to spend while making these cookies, or if you have all these things in the house, spend totally nothing. And we're cooking using a gas, a jiko, or a stove. I'm going to use a stove to cook. So enjoy this video. Don't forget to subscribe, click on that notification.
So the ingredients are icing sugar, an egg, vanilla essence, prestige margarine, and baking powder.
This is going to be our measuring cup. This is what I'm going to use to measure everything from the all-purpose flour to the icing sugar. So remember, if you don't have icing sugar, you can blend your sugar so that it can be smooth. So I'm just going to put 1 cup of this icing sugar. Actually, it's not a full cup. And then I'm going to put my prestige margarine or margarine, half of this. This is the 250 grams. It goes for 75 shillings at the supermarket. I'm going to take half of this. And mix them together.
So we are going to mix that thoroughly until it becomes smooth. So I switched to a sufuria because the basin was too large compared to the ingredients that I'm using. So this one is more contained. So this is how it's supposed to look after you've mixed it thoroughly. So I'm going to add in 1 teaspoon vanilla essence. Then add in the egg. So I'm going to add in 1 cup of all-purpose flour. So I added in 1 cup and then I added in 1/4 of the cup also, and we're going to sieve this. Lord, this was hard work. Yeah, if you have a big sieve, the better. There are baking sieves too. If you have that, the better. This took longer, but it did the job. how it looks after sieving. I'm going to add in 1 teaspoon of baking powder. This is totally optional. You can do without cinnamon. This is where you add your ginger, your cinnamon, anything to add a punch into your cookies. Totally optional. I'm going to mix everything together. Started mixing everything with this mwiko, then later switched to my hand. The texture is supposed to look like it's breaking. It's not supposed to be like the texture that we have when making chapatis. I'm just going to show you in a bit. Dark particles you're seeing, that is cinnamon. I'm just going to lay the dough flat here so that I'm able to cut it into small pieces. This is where we are going to remove our bottle tops, any tops that can play as a cookie cutter. This is where we are going to use them. It's mine. I'm going to use this to cut the cookies into pieces. You can flatten them if you want. After you've cut them like that, you can flatten them if you want, or just leave them as thick as they are. This is my oven. This is where I'm going to put in my baking pan. You can put in a very tiny sufuria inside to stand in place of the 3 stones, okay? This is going to be my baking pan. You can use any lid that you have in the house, especially if it has somewhere that you can carry it with, the better. I put mine inside before I put it on the stove because it doesn't have a place where I can hold it, and I need to preheat my oven for at least 5 minutes. It's going to be hot when I put it inside and I'm going to burn, so I was just avoiding that. The oven has preheated for 5 minutes. We're going to put our cookies inside. Please make sure you give them space. I learned the hard way because they are going to kufura. They are going to rise. So make sure you give them space. Cover them and let them cook between 15 to 20 minutes under medium heat. This is how they look, exactly 20 minutes. I put a timer under medium heat. So my opinion is you can either turn them if you want to, but once the bottom part has turned brown, the top part is cooked too. I can attest to that. The top part is cooked. Okay. Another thing, when you're putting in your cookies, don't put them close to the end of the sufuria because the edges are going to burn. You see this one, I put it close to the edge of the sufuria and you see the edge, it was burning. Waited for my cookies to cool down. Now I'm transferring them to that plate so that I can take a fire thumbnail. I've done a really great job. So it took 20 minutes for them to cook, and then another 25 minutes for preparation. So that was roughly 45 minutes of baking these babies.
Guys, I did it again. I did it again. I baked cookies without an oven. I baked cookies without an oven. Eh? Hmm. 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 Who's your mama? Who's your mama? I'm taking orders for cookies. So it took me 20 minutes for each set of cookies that I was placing in the sufurias. You can make this using a gas, a jiko, or a stove. I used a stove, and it was super delicious. My opinion is, once the bottom part turns brown, the cookie is good. Of course, you can turn them if you want to, but in my opinion, the cookies are good whether you turn them or not, and they are delicious. I did a great job. Let me just pat myself in the back. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to click on that notification bell to get notified whenever I upload a new video. Bye bye.